everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vic, and for today's video I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm showing you guys the process of making my favorite fresh fruit juice. I got a juicer a couple of years back and I've really been enjoying making these juices, and this is by far my favorite one to make. It's what I call my pink juice, for reasons that will become very apparent shortly. It's 3 apples. I like to use Ambrosia apples because they're sweet and easily available to me. Any kind of apple would do though. I've used just about every kind I've come across. Even a Granny Smith could be good, as this makes a really sweet juice and other people might prefer something that balances that a bit more. And then I use 1 to 2 oranges depending on size. I usually go for a Naval Orange. And then 5 to 8 strawberries depending on how big they are. Now, I prep all of my fruit before putting it through the juicer just because the one I have is pretty small. It's the Magic Bullet Mini Juicer, so the chute for the fruit is kind of small. For most people, you don't really need to do this. You can just more or less chuck in the whole piece of fruit and call it a day. But I figured since I had to cut mine down anyway, I would just remove all the bits that I didn't really want to be drinking, like peel or pith or cores. A lot of people say that you should leave the pith on oranges when you're juicing them. The pith, for those who do not know, is the white stuff under the skin, but I really hate pulp in my juice and would be straining it all out anyway, so I figured I'd make it easier on myself from the start rather than just putting something in there that's only going to create more pulp. I quite enjoy this process of prepping all the fruit for my juices and ending up with a bowl full. It's looking very apple heavy at the moment, but don't be alarmed, apples just look like that. They make a really good base for a fruit juice, and the flavor goes with pretty much everything, so it's always good to put a fair amount of apple when you're trying to make a drink like this. This is a very sweet juice, and I kind of like it as sweet as it can get. I know fruit juices are very high in sugar. They're not as healthy as they might be, kind of portrayed as being. They're healthier than, like, a Coke or something with a lot of refined sugar, as it's naturally occurring sugar, and a bunch of vitamins, but it's still a lot of sugar. By juicing instead of making something like a smoothie, you are stripping out a lot of the natural fiber, but most of the vitamins and other nutrients are actually in the juice, so I don't mind ditching out the fiber for a texture that I can actually handle. Obviously, your best way to engage with fruit would be to just eat the fruit, but juice is nice, it's easy, it's a simple way to get some vitamins. I have a centrifugal juicer, which essentially means there is a thing in the middle of it that spins around really fast and separates the pulp from the juice after the fruit has gone through its shredder. I absolutely love this juicer, but it does leave a fair amount of juice in the pulp, which that's okay, I don't really mind. It's small, convenient, and easy to clean, which is more important to me, and it is also really affordable. So yeah, I just put all the pieces of fruit that I've prepped through the juicer, and you can see just how much juice we get from this amount of fruit. A shocking amount of fruit goes into essentially one person's worth of juice. Part of that is definitely due to the type of juicer that I have. That's also part of the nature of juicing and disregarding the flesh of the fruit. So after juicing, you'll want to put it in the fridge to chill for at least an hour, but up to a couple of days really, because it will be decidedly room temperature to warm when you first make it. So this is a couple of days later, and that's all the froth. Disgusting. This always forms on homemade fruit juice from an electric juicer. I just spoon what I can off the top before I strain the juice. Also, please no one comment on my duck pajamas unless you're going to compliment them. Thank you. This is the cup that came with the juicer. You're supposed to juice straight into it, but because I mess around straining it so much, there's no real point in starting in this. But yes, I'm going to strain the juice through this little strainer a few times just to make sure I'm getting all of the pulp out. Like I said before, I hate pulp, so once I've done this enough times, I'll just pour it over ice and it's ready to drink. Let me know if any of you make your own juices and what your favorite recipes are, but this is my pink juice, as you can see. This is why it's called that. I know this is a bit of a different video for me, so thank you all for watching. I hope you will give this a go. It's a really nice juice, very summery, sweet, and refreshing. Perfect for the New Zealand summer we're in right now. And oh, just look at that color. So there we go, here's the ice, and I'm just pouring it over. Look at it in all of its glory. This is making me thirsty. But that's all from me today. Please like and subscribe. I hope to see you all in my next video. Love you all so much, and goodbye!